showing exactly the extent of his cruelty, the extent to which he's willing to use the machine of immigration enforcement to terrorize our communities, to separate our families, and to get votes. That's what he's doing. He's rallying his base. But let me tell you something. The country has now been exposed to the brutality of immigration enforcement. The pictures we saw of humans in cages, the sounds we heard of children crying for their parents, begging to be connected to someone, one person they knew. We saw that, and we cannot forget it. It is no longer possible to turn away from the brutality and the inhumanity of immigration enforcement in this country. And that's why today we are not just here to protest. We are here to demand the complete abolition of ICE, the agency that every single day is separating families. It's putting humans in cages. It's throwing people outside of the place that we call home, because this country is our home. Now, I am so proud to be in this sisterhood of women who fight for our freedom, women who say we do not obey injustice, we do not obey racism, we do not obey bigotry, we do not sit down when our families are being attacked. Is that right? Say it with me. Say it with me. Women disobey. Women disobey. Women disobey. Women disobey to abolish ICE. Women disobey to abolish ICE. I want to leave you with some words that really pulled me out of my darkness last week, when I just could not take it anymore. When I have 2 children, and the thought of my children sitting in a place without anyone they knew really pulled from me the deepest pain that I have felt. And I remember this speech by a Sikh activist. Her name is Valerie Kaur. She talks about the experience of her grandfather in the jail, and says, I think my grandfather, I'm paraphrasing, sitting in the darkness of that jail, had to find a source of optimism, had to believe that change was coming. And she says, speaking about our moment in this darkness that we're living, she says, what if this darkness, the mother in me asks, what if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if our country is not dead, but is waiting to be born? What if this is a moment of great transition? And what does the midwife tell us? The midwife says, breathe, and then push. The midwife says, breathe, and then push. Because if we don't push, we die. If we don't push, our country dies. If we don't push, our families die. So today, we breathe, and we push, and we disobey. Thank you for being here.
disobey. Repeat with me. Today and every day, women disobey. My friends, just a few weeks ago, I traveled to the border and I saw facilities where children and adults were being held under the zero tolerance policy. I saw the look of fear and desperation in children's and parents' eyes. I felt like I was in a third world country. Now, Donald Trump first told us that only Congress could end the family separation. Then he said he was signing an executive order to stop family separation. Now they tell us they want to send families to prisons together and keep them there indefinitely. I ask America, and I ask every American person in this nation, is that the America we know? Where we lock up families and throw away the keys. Where we put children on buses to military bases in the dead of night. Is that the America we know? We are here, Mr. President, because the American people have zero tolerance for you. For your inhumane policies. We have zero tolerance for breaking up families. We have zero tolerance for putting children in cages. We should be releasing families together, not locking them up together. The irony is that there has been a lot of calls from the White House, the press secretary, and the president for civility. Well, Mr. President, let me ask you, where is the civility in ripping babies from the arms of parents? Where is the civility in putting parents and children in prisons together? Where is the civility in calling our immigrants brothers and sisters rapists and criminals? Where is the civility of terrorizing children at our border? Where is the civility of keeping dreamers hostage for a stupid wall? You want civility, Mr. President? Then stop tearing apart our civil rights. Stop locking up children and families. Mr. President, in case that you don't realize, this is America, and the American people have zero tolerance for you. Like my sisters Linda, Ana Maria, and Bob Bland have said, we need to fight for justice in our country. That is not negotiable. Keep pushing, because the American people is here. This is America, Mr. President. Zero tolerance for you. Gracias, y a mis hermanos latinos, aquí estamos, luchando en las calles, luchando en las cortes y luchando aquí en Washington. Que Dios los bendiga.
Behind this line here.
Give it up to Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez.
No! We disobey! 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 No! Every day, every single day, ICE, the agency in charge of enforcing immigration laws, is separating families. Every single day. Every single day, ICE is putting humans in cages, and today we say, abolish ICE! 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 People are marching, people are sitting in front of the offices of elected officials, people are going to the border because they cannot believe that in this country, today, there are humans in cages that look like cages, not jails, not detention facilities, definitely not summer camps. Definitely not summer camps. People are outraged with the sounds they have heard of children begging to be connected to someone they know. And for the first time, we have to say today, this is America. This is who we are today. But this is who we are today. But is this who we want to be? No! Is this who we want to be tomorrow? No! Is this who we want to be the day after tomorrow? No way! No way! So today, we lift the veil and we say, never again! We will not repeat the worst moments in our country's history. We will not allow these presidents and Jeff Sessions and the people who are cooking up horrible ideas in this building to take us to a place of no return. Today we say, shame! 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 We will not return to the Japanese internment camps. We will not return to the moment when we looked away because we didn't know. Now we know, and we cannot forget. We cannot allow the people who are sitting in living rooms across America to forget. That's why we're here today, to remind them that what they saw is true. That is who we are today, family for years. Mario, who comes from New Jersey, Metro New Jersey. Mario is going to tell us his story in Spanish. Let's hold him with all of our attention, all of our love, all of our heart. Mario.
Hola, buen día para todos y gracias por estar acá. En el 2014 yo huí de mi país huyendo por la violencia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. In 2014, I left my country fleeing violence.
Y fue cuando yo iba a tener un año de estar acá que en el 2015 asesinan a mi hermano a causa de yo huir de mi país.
And a year after I got here in 2015, my brother who had stayed behind was killed in retaliation for me leaving my country.
Aproximadamente hace 2 meses, bueno, cuando yo vine acá, dejé a mis hijas, a mi esposa, y hace aproximadamente 2 meses mi familia estuvo detenida también.
When I left my country, I left my wife and my 2 daughters. And 2 months ago, they were able to cross. I tried to bring them here, but they were detained at the border.
Yo no sabía nada de ellas. Yo trataba de hablar a Border Patrol. Yo hablaba a todos los medios que yo podía encontrar para saber acerca de mi familia y nadie me daba información. Decían que tenía que ir hasta la frontera.
I could not find any information about them. I called Border Patrol. I called anyone and everyone I could, trying to find them, and they said that they didn't know where they were, that I had to go to the border to find them.
Cuando yo identifiqué dónde estaban ellas detenidas, yo viajé hacia Texas, a 20 minutos de la frontera, donde ellas estaban detenidas. Cuando mi hija me cuenta, mi hija de 12 años, que cómo las trataron, que por 5 días las separaron de la mamá, y ella lloraba todos los días, y un oficial de inmigración le dijo, y así vas a llorar cuando dejes a tu madre, cuando te vayas con marido, le dijeron.
So, when I finally found them, I got the courage to go to the place where they were, by the border, 20 minutes from the border in Texas, which is a dangerous place for me to go. And when I spoke with my daughter, who's 12 years old, she told me that they had put her in a cage separate from her mom for 5 days, and she cried 5 days straight. And the guards in the detention center, in the detention camp, said, "Why are you crying? Are you going to cry like this when you get married?"
Oh, no.
Thank you. Ahora yo estoy aquí en representación de ellas, agradecido a todas ustedes, mujeres valientes, que están aquí como cabeza de la familia, poniendo el corazón, el alma para defender el hogar. Ustedes, mujeres valientes.
And I am so grateful for all of you, you courageous women, you who has directly felt the brutality, the inhumanity of ICE and of Trump. I want to
and feel the joy, but yet the fight, the resolve, and the victory. I come here today, I thank you, my sister Tamika, and all who have come and organized, but most of all, I thank each and every face, every person, every sister, every mother, every grandmother, every person that has come just on their own, because we stand in the name of this brother's daughter. We stand in the name of little Roger that I was at the border, 9 months old, snatched away from his 19-year-old sister. Roger cannot speak. Roger had no identification. Roger had no one to cuddle him. I stand in the name of Leah, who was 1.5 years old. Leah was a little older and would have nothing to do with any of us. Fussy, upset, and feeling the loneliness. Those who are symbolic of those children who have been incarcerated in absolutely abhorrent conditions, while mothers either breastfed and took them away, or while mothers went into another room and when they came back they were gone, or while they were put in car seats and they were said, "You're getting in the car," and then they drove off. What humaneness and the lack of humanity is this? And so, my sisters, let me say that this is not a day event. This is a everyday event. For when you leave here, you must go to your home, and if there are 2 or 3 are gathered, sit down somewhere and let the local folk know we care. For the struggle doesn't end when you come to your capital, the nation's capital, the victory place. It begins with each and every one outside of these boundaries. The women of the United States Congress have just signed a letter. We plan to be protesting continuously. And we are demanding for the President of the United States to account for every child and every parent without penalty. We are asking them to end the zero policy and to restore amnesty for domestic violence and gang violence. How outrageous that the Attorney General has the audacity to use the scriptures and not understand what mercy is all about. Have mercy on his soul. That he would remove the very lifeline. Or from Ramona, who fled after the cartel in Honduras and looked at her and said, "You are 8.5 months pregnant." These are folk that I hugged and talked to at the border. And they said, "When you have that baby, we will kill you." Wow. And we will kill you because you didn't pay us back the few pennies that she borrowed, because it's like a bank. She fled 8.5 months pregnant. For those of you who have carried a child, anybody want to move anywhere 8.5 months pregnant? So how could she be smuggling herself? She had the baby on the road, and when I saw her, she had not had any medical care, and the baby had not. Thank God some Border Patrol listened. And I said, "You've got to get her to a hospital today," of which she went. That doesn't happen. We're not down there all the time. We're not watching and looking. But I will tell you, that's what you're doing now. And I want to say about America, America is no better than the folk who are on this ground, making it hold up to its ultimate goals and aspirations of a country that is free for all people. And let me tell the Justice Department, if they do not read the law, when you step foot in the United States, you have the right and privileges of due process. Tell those local people down there. So today as you sit as an American, you sit as someone that claims and says we too are America. That we will not be defined by those who want to misuse and abuse what the laws of this nation are, what color I am, what lifestyle I lead, what religion I am. I am not standing with a nation that has a Muslim ban. Right. Because I believe in all people, all faiths. Crazy. So as we go to the place where you will do civil disobedience, be reminded that blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Be understanding that if whatever your faith in the Christian faith, someone died on a cross so that others might be saved. And as you know, the Quran and many other books of faith, they speak about love and charity. Yes. And if we have a nation that does not wallow in love and charity, then we have no nation. And I think it is important for this Justice Department and General Sessions to understand that love and charity is not mild-mannered. It is forceful. It is strong. It is going forward. And I don't claim politics, but what I will say is that I will take this message back to the Democrats and I will let them know, and I hope the others are listening too, that there are people all around this nation that are willing to carry the flag. How dare anyone suggest that you are not a patriot? You carry the flag. You are wallowed in the flag, the red, white, and blue, for people died for your freedom to fight the way you are fighting. So let me just say this. Never give up, as John Lewis said. Never give in, never give out. Call upon us anytime. We're going back to the border over and over again. Women members are going back. We're going into our own district, and I ask you, send a message to my Houston sisters, because they're trying to put this center in our district. We've done everything, but what we need to do, the Dominican nuns are out there 24 hours a day. But we need the rest of Houston to come and stand in front of that facility and say to them, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. And freedom in the middle of this crowd, and feel the joy, but yet the fight, the resolve, and the victory. I come here today, I thank you, my sister Tamika, and all who have
get everybody in. So we might need to spread that way. And we're going to ask this moment. Yeah, this can all be done.
conversation with Lydia Velasquez, we have to remember that those who fight for us on the inside, we need to have their back. It takes a lot for people like Lydia to stand up to all the opposition that she has to face as a woman and a woman of color. So next up, I'm going to bring up a very wonderful, powerful woman who's been doing this work for a really long time. She's the executive director of the Black Women's Roundtable, part of the Undocu Black Network, and let's remember that immigration is also a Black issue. And let's remember that the majority of the countries on the Muslim ban list are actually on the continent of Africa. So please give it up to Melanie Campbell from the Black Women's Roundtable.
Thank you, Sister Linda. It's hot out here, right? That's because we're mad as hell. You mad as hell? I'm mad as hell. Thank you, Women's March, and all of the partners for inviting us. It's an honor just to be here. I tell you, I couldn't sleep last night, thinking about what happened down the street at the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday, right? And thinking about whatever that is over in that building over there. And thinking about what the hell's going on down in the congressional building, right? So I just came by to support, because as Linda said, immigration is a Black issue. Immigration, quite frankly, is a white issue, right? Immigration is a Latino issue. It's a APIA issue. But for the Native Americans, I think last I checked, they were already here, right? So we talk about immigration as if it's some foreign disconnect. And I heard 45 say that his parents were immigrants. But yet and still, you can tear babies apart from their mothers and their fathers. It is, I'm just mad as hell. And so, usually I'm, in a Baptist mood today, but I'm just not. Usually I'm ready to, let me just get them fired up, because I think y'all already fired up because it's hot as hell out here. So I honestly just came by to say, we will win. This is our country. It's not just rural America. It's not just urban America. As our president always, my president, President Barack Obama, would remind us, it's the United States of America. And damn it, you will not take that from us. Peace and power. Thank you.
down to the convention.
March and our partners that marching is important, that rallying is important, but it is not enough under a fascist administration. We did a call out to women across the country and we asked you, are you ready to sacrifice just a little bit? There are people in our country that are sacrificing everything. Migrants fleeing political persecution, violence, and extreme poverty, war, and conflict to seek refuge in this country and are sacrificing their lives for a better opportunity that we have here in the United States of America. So what we are doing today is a minimal sacrifice. We are grateful for women from all over the country stood up and said, we will not be silent. We will not turn a blind eye to injustice in this country. People want to tell us when to protest, how to be civil. If you're going to talk to us about civility, let's talk about how uncivil it is to kill unarmed black people on the streets of our community. How uncivil it is to rip mothers from their children's arms. How uncivil it is to have billions of dollars to build prison camps on military bases, but not have money to give clean water to the people of Flint. Today, you are engaging in history. You are part of the largest women mass civil disobedience that this country has ever seen. This is not the beginning, because many generations before us have engaged in civil disobedience, but it is also not the end. Women are the conscience of this country. We are answering the call of Dr. Coretta King when she said, women, if you want to save the soul of this nation, you must become its soul, and you, my sisters, are this country's soul, and that is why you are here today. In particular, I talk to my white sisters. It is very important, in particular, for you to be here today. It cannot be those who have the most at stake and the most vulnerable and the most traumatized and the most pain and the most hurt who have to sacrifice and fight against the opposition and this administration. It requires people like you to be here. I appreciate you. We love you. We are sisters. We will not let anybody divide us. We are in this together, because when one woman is not free in this country, none of us are free in this country.
You've been watching it work? Volley, one time.
community.
We're back TV, we do people for burning and stuff like that. Can you comment on what's going on down with the border? What do you think about this demonstration?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it back up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the separation of families is obviously a scandalous violation of international law, of the U.S. Constitution, and our most fundamental values. And so people all over the country are standing up against it. I got a call from some constituents saying that they were having a protest over here on the Senate side in the Hart Building. So I came over to join them and to stand with them and to express my solidarity with what they're doing.
I see some of them out on delegation down in Texas. Did you go?
No, I'm on my way next week. Yeah. So we're having a vigil tomorrow night in my district, demanding reunification of the families and bringing the children back to their moms and dads. And I'll be participating in the march on Saturday.
Okay. What do you think about the courage of these women to not just show up, but to actually...
Well, when I got down here, I said I haven't seen the spirit like this since the Women's March, and then my constituent said to me, "This was organized by the Women's March." So you could see it had the same energy and spirit and terrific organizing ethos. So I'm impressed by what they've done, and I'm glad they're standing up before the 4th of July for the best values of America. These people are real patriots.
Right. It was kind of ironic that a lot of this broke on Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
When you think of fathers, I hope you're thinking of families. I think this is the exact opposite of that.
Right, right. Well, I mean, it's a hallmark of authoritarian regimes to separate parents from their children. It's not reflective of the values of the world's greatest liberal democracy. And so a lot of people are asking themselves what we're becoming under the Trump administration.
Does the United States get out from under this thing that's really been created on us as a nation in the eyes around the world?
It's going to be a long walk home. And I'm afraid to say we probably haven't hit the worst of it yet. The Republicans still control the House, the Senate, the White House, and the Supreme Court because they stole a Supreme Court seat from Judge Merrick Garland. And so we're going to have to just fight our way back in every institution of government to try to resurrect the democracy that we once had. But right now, the government is really betraying the values of the country.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Your support and coming
Yeah, I just had to come be with them. Thanks.
Administration, Trump himself is showing exactly the extent of his cruelty, the extent to which he's willing to use the machine of immigration enforcement to terrorize our communities, to separate our families, tell you something. The country has now been exposed to the brutality of immigration enforcement. The pictures we saw of humans in cages, the sounds we heard of children crying for their parents, begging to be connected to someone, one person they knew. We saw that, and we cannot forget it. It is no longer possible to turn away from the brutality and the inhumanity of immigration enforcement in this country. And that's why today we are not just here to protest. We are here to demand the complete abolition of ICE, the agency that every single day is separating families. It's putting humans in cages. It's throwing people outside of a place that we call home, because this country is our home. Now, I am so proud to be in this sisterhood of women who fight for our freedom, women who say we do not obey injustice, we do not obey racism, we do not obey bigotry, we do not sit down when our families are being attacked. Is that right? Say it with me. Say it with me. Women disobey. Women disobey. Women disobey. Women disobey to abolish ICE. I want to leave you with some words that really pulled me out of my darkness last week, when I just could not take it anymore. When I have 2 children, and the thought of my children sitting in a place without anyone they knew really pulled from me the deepest pain that I have felt. And I remember the speech by a Sikh activist. Her name is Valerie Kaur. She talks about the experience of her grandfather in the jail, and says, I think my grandfather, I'm paraphrasing, sitting in the darkness of that jail, had to find a source of optimism, had to believe that change was coming. And she says, speaking about our moment in this darkness that we're living, she says, what if this darkness, the mother in me asks, what if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if our country is not dead, but is waiting to be born? What if this is a moment of great transition? And what does the midwife tell us? The midwife says, breathe, and then push. The midwife says, breathe, and then push. Because if we don't push, we die. If we don't push, our country dies. If we don't push, our families die. So today, we breathe, and we push, and we disobey. Thank you for being here. Introduce my sister in struggle, the woman who keeps me inspired and believing that change is possible and that we will win.
okay? I mean, Jocelyn could talk to people, but we have to go between now and now. Because nothing's here now. Yeah. Is it okay to cue it up now?
Mr. President, because for your inhumane policy, we have zero tolerance for breaking up families. We have zero tolerance for putting children in cages. We should be releasing families together, not locking them up together. The irony is that there has been a lot of calls from the White House, the press secretary, and the president for civility. Well, Mr. President, let me ask you, where is the civility in ripping babies from the arms of parents? Where is the civility in putting parents and children in prison together? Where is the civility in killing our immigrant brothers and sisters?
is up to no good. Ice cold heart.
I agree. I love your sign.
And this is Jefferson Beauregard Sessions.
Oh my goodness. He does not appear to be very confident.
Okay, just sum up the
country for the first time, has been confronted with the brutality. For the first time, has been confronted. This is who we want to be. People are sitting in front of the offices of elected officials. People are going to the border because they cannot believe that in this country, today, there are humans in cages that look like cages, not jails, not detention facilities, definitely not summer camps, definitely not.
All right, so what you've been watching are the Women's March and partners enacting a grand scale civil disobedience action for the support of abolishing ICE and really standing in solidarity with all the detained children. Hundreds were arrested bravely, non-violently, came in here, said what they needed to say, and marched out. So I think that, hopefully everybody's been listening. Senator Warren certainly came by to say her piece. Thank you so much for watching with us. This has been ACT TV. Is that good? I missed you so much. I was so annoyed. I was like arguing with you. I was like, see that man over there? They just didn't work. They were like, ma'am, not letting me. I was like, okay, well, could you let a little bit more pass? Just one more?
Well, I stood right in the middle of it.